Hi everyone, I'm just waiting for a connection to come in. This is going to be our Thought Leader Thursday, and Laurie Koller is going to be joining me tonight. We're talking about ways that we're creating change in the practice of law. There's Laurie. Let me see if I can add you in. Adding you, Laurie. Just a moment.
Hi.
Yay! How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Let's just give a moment just for it to come up and connect. I'm going to let it reload.
A moment for my dogs to stop barking.
Yeah, there you go. That's how it always happens, right? And let's see. I'm in the right place. I'm looking for it to come live. Oh, there it is. Okay, great. So we're going to start in just a second. Is Thought Leader Thursday tonight in our Mind Over Law Mindset Mastery group for lawyers. And I'm so excited to have Laurie here with us tonight. Laurie is a leading trial lawyer in our country, specializing in certain cases, and I'm going to let her tell you guys all about herself. And I'm just really, really honored to have you with us tonight. So you want to tell everybody a little bit about yourself? I know you have lots of friends in this group, but we have over 600 members now from like 14 different countries. So
amazing.
I know. Let people know who you are.
Sure. So I'm a trial attorney based in Tulsa, Oklahoma, but I have an office in Oklahoma City as well. And I just started my own firm 2 months ago. Although I've been practicing law for 27 years.
Yes. And that's a huge move, and congratulations. And I'm so excited for you. And tell everybody a little bit about the type of law that you now are specializing in your own firm, like following your passion.
Hi, Lyle. Good to see you. So my new law firm focuses on providing civil justice to victims of crime. And this is primarily sexual assault and sexual abuse victims who have a way to pursue perpetrator and institutions that allowed the perpetrator to create this situation pretty much all over the place.
Right. That's awesome. And so let's talk a little bit about your path, because you've been practicing for 27 years, and I know that you're with a firm that you loved for a long time, and then something started to call at you that you needed to be specializing in this type of work. So why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so actually that's my story of how I got to you, Lexley, right?
Right.
So I had been at my old firm for 16 or 17 years, and I was not unhappy there. I enjoyed the firm. I still like those people very much.
If you're with people that long, they become a part of your family.
Right. Well, I probably saw them more than I saw my family.
With your family, all
right. About 10 years ago, I started doing my first case involving this subject matter. About 6 years ago, I really started focusing on that, even with the firm that I was in, which was a departure for them. They are primarily your traditional PI firm.
Right.
But they allowed me the freedom to work on those cases, and I learned a lot about handling those kinds of cases while I was there, and just really started to develop that as a specialty. But I also started getting the feeling that something wasn't right, and I really didn't know what it was. I just was a little uncomfortable in that job that I still really liked. So actually, Jackie is the one who told me about you. And I reached out not too long after that. And I think what I told you is, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I've been doing this so long, it's weird to feel that way. But that was the issue.
Yeah, and I remember asking you in our first session together, I said, what do you want? And you instantly knew. You said, I want to know whether or not I should stay or I should go. And so we began working on that. And that started with just the process of really like becoming present with who you were, who you are, and what you wanted. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, it was interesting because to me, I've been on this earth long enough to realize that I'm not the most objective person about myself,
Mm-hmm.
right? I think it's
Right.
for any of us to be
True.
objective about ourselves. So I knew I needed an outside voice. Uh,
Right.
and you were very helpful in kind of asking me the questions without giving any direction. Oh, I think you should do this. That wasn't what you were doing.
Yeah.
Just getting me to analyze um, how I was feeling about things and what I was enjoying and what I wasn't, and kind of doing this whole self observation process to figure out what the answer to that question was.
Yes. And so the Mind Over Law method has a lot of different tools and techniques that we use to, I think, change the way that we're practicing law. Because I know it was true for me as a trial lawyer of spending so much time in a reactionary mode of always just trying to juggle everything that I didn't often take the time to slow down to really create what I wanted. So for you, that's obviously what you did. Can you tell and share with the group some of the tools or techniques that you like the most, the things that you've taken on in your life that have helped you? When I sent out an email to the group about this, I talked about that this is about making big decisions and how to know how to do that.
Yeah, gradually we got to the point where it was clear to me that the answer was it was time to go, which
Mm-hmm.
was a terrifying answer to me because I had never been on my own. I've always worked for somebody else. And here I am talking about going out and starting a new law firm. The techniques, I think some of the ones that helped me the very most, one was the guided meditation
Mm-hmm.
that you did with me to really dig into where do I see myself in the future. I think that's where I finally concluded, this was the decision I needed to make. The second one that I think has been so instrumental in how successful that transition from my old firm to this new firm is all of the energy work that we did about how do you say goodbye without offending
Yeah.
anybody, making it a situation where everybody's content with the way things are going. And we did a
Mm-hmm.
ton of work on that. I mean, for 17 years, you get a lot of relationship bonds going on, right?
Right.
And I think that your help in doing that energy work allowed me to walk in and confidently say, this is what I'm going to do. How do you want it to look? And know that no matter what their answer was, I was going to be okay.
Right.
And from doing all of that energy work, when we had that conversation, it went beautifully. And the outcome was, I couldn't even imagine it being any better. I mean, it just was perfect.
Yeah.
And it really helped me get this law firm going in a comfortable way where I'm not, worried about what am I going to eat for the next week, right?
Right. Yeah.
And, not burn bridges. Because my old way of doing things would have been, I'm out of here and burn every bridge there was. And we didn't do that.
Yeah. And that old way probably would have been out of some fear too, right? So we spent a lot of time like looking at what is it that you really wanted, and if you could envision the perfect way to have a transition, what were your thoughts around that? That's like the mental energy and how we're creating. When you say energy work, it was like looking at all that, right? And how we can create by what we think. And Lori, you did a lot of work on just truly knowing yourself so that you manage your state no matter. And I think that in and of itself is such a powerful tool for us to have as lawyers, because of everything that we're faced with every single day, to be able to know that you are who you are and you're centered in what your purpose is, and to be very clear about that. And you're just really strong in owning that. You might not have realized it in the beginning, but you are.
Yeah, well, in the beginning, I was just confused.
Right.
And it was an element of, this isn't working. I don't understand why it's not working, because I had cases. I was pretty happy. I was making good money. There wasn't any objective reason for me to be unhappy.
Right.
Right. But it wasn't what I was supposed to be doing at that point in my life. And it took all of the work that we did to figure that out and then to make it come true.
And so how do you feel now when you wake up in the morning and you are getting ready to, you wake up, you realize this is where I am and I'm going into my own firm, and I'm following the work that I really want to do and helping people the way I want to. What would be the word that encompasses how you feel?
I'm really excited about where this is going. I mean, I have to say my morning is pretty much the same as it used to be, but where I see the difference is, I am getting phone calls from victims who really need help. And I had a client in my office crying at sign up because she didn't know that there was a lawyer that did this kind of work. She was shocked by that. And that was, I'm sorry that she was crying, but it was really cool to go, yeah, there are people who will help you, and the power of being able to help those folks while kind of fulfilling my own destiny is really cool.
Yeah, I think when you stepped into your purpose and owned it, and then now it's being created.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's a lot of what we do and looking at mindset work. So I'm really excited that you're going to be joining in on the Mindset Mastery Challenge that's going to be starting next week, and being a part of that with me.
Right.
Yeah,
very excited. Cool.
Yeah, very excited about it. And so we still have the special that's going on for all the people who are in our group with us, that you can follow the link that's above the video, and I'll put it in the comments below, and use the coupon code of 300 off. That'll be good until Sunday. We're almost filled up, so we're really excited. We have lawyers from all over the country. We're going to all be stepping into what we really want to do and starting to really create the way that we want to practice law. And I thank you so much for joining me tonight and sharing a little bit about your story.
Well, you're very welcome, and thank you for all the help that you gave me.
Oh, you're welcome. I've enjoyed getting to know you and having you in my life. So thank you so much. All right, guys, if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments for us. And Laurie's open to answering any questions about her journey, I know. And we hope to see you in the challenge.